Hi everyone, meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. A lot to talk about in the forecast as we head over the coming days. Coming off a really nice weekend and a really nice start to the week, the weather is going to turn more unsettled as we head really probably Wednesday through the end of the week and into the beginning part of the upcoming weekend. So if you look at the weather headlines, again, like I just said, it's a really nice start to the week. On our Monday, we're going to end up seeing temperatures into the mid 60s for a lot of us, mid to upper 60s, plenty of sunshine. And plenty of sunshine again for the day on Tuesday, even warmer temperatures in the 70s, but a strong low pressure system looks to swing through the plains as we head beginning the middle of the week and then really through the end of the week. And that's going to potentially bring severe weather, areas of heavy rain, and maybe even some snow in the west. And again, a lot of these details still have plenty of time to change, so you want to make sure you stay tuned to the forecast over the coming days as there will be updates. And again, some of these updates could have big impacts on what we could see here in Lincoln because there will be a dry slot with this system where there won't be much in the way of precipitation, and that's not going to be separated by a whole huge distance where those some areas could see quite a bit of moisture over the coming days. So if we start off, look at your surface map again. Pleasant conditions expected as we head through Monday afternoon, Monday evening, with mainly clear skies, quiet conditions, high pressure kind of in place across the area. And as we head into the day on Tuesday, kind of more of the same, although temperatures are expected to be a little bit warmer. But then as we head Tuesday night into the day on Wednesday, we're going to start to see the beginnings of this system move in from the west. As again, low pressure will begin to kind of develop out of the Rockies. Warm front kind of lifts north into the region. And on Wednesday, at least, this is the very beginning part of this. We're going to start to see a chance for some maybe isolated severe storms, scattered thunderstorms across parts of central and eastern Nebraska. It's as this low pressure system then kind of wraps up and swings through the area as we head Wednesday into the day on Thursday and even into the day on Friday that we're going to be looking at the potential for a lot of moisture coming out of this system, a lot of wind with this system, and then temperatures on the back end becoming quite chilly again and cold enough for some areas of snow again being possible across parts of the Panhandle into western Nebraska and maybe into north central Nebraska as well. It's not going to be until Friday night, likely into early Saturday, the system really begins to push out of the area, and even on the back end lingering into Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, we could be dealing with some cloud cover that could kind of give us a bad view of the solar eclipse that's supposed to happen starting Saturday morning into the afternoon hours. That's something we'll keep an eye on. So if we look at the Storm Prediction Center's outlook for the day on Wednesday, they do have parts of south central, southeastern Nebraska covered with a marginal risk for severe weather. So again, that means some isolated severe thunderstorms will be possible as that warm front kind of lifts to the north. Again, enough juice in the atmosphere, enough twisting and turning of those winds that we could see a few isolated strong to severe thunderstorms that could produce some large hail and maybe some damaging wind gusts as well. We're also going to keep an eye on the day on Thursday as well. Again, into the southeastern corner of the state is where the SPC has outlined at least a risk area that we're going to keep an eye on. Again, with this low pressure system swinging through, there's going to be a lot of twisting and turning of the winds, a lot of wind shear, and again, just enough instability that we're going to see the potential for, again, a few storms to potentially begin to rotate and, again, potentially be on the strong to severe side. As far as the rainfall potential, again, we need the moisture. Again, maybe not this much all at once, but this is going to be, again, kind of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame as the system moves on through. And again, this is the forecast from the Weather Prediction Center within the National Weather Service. And again, they have a swath of potentially anywhere from 1 to up to 4 inches of rain being possible across kind of parts of northern, northeastern, into east central sections of the state. Lincoln is probably right on that line, maybe an inch to 2 inches, 2.5 inches. But again, like I mentioned, that dry slot is going to come into play. Where is that low pressure center located? How far north does that low get? These are all details that will have, again, big impacts on how much moisture we see and where that moisture is. Again, this forecast is from the National Weather Service. If you look at some of the longer range models, this first one here is the European model. Again, you can see that kind of dry slot punching into south central sections of the state, where folks down near Hastings, Blue Hill, Hebron, Holdridge may not see much of any moisture out of this system, but you go across parts of northern, northeastern, and east central, far southeastern Nebraska, we could be looking at multiple inches of rain being possible. So that's the European model. The GFS model, again, has that heavier band of moisture just a little bit further to the south. So again, this is one of the details that we're going to keep an eye on as we head over the coming days. What is the track of that low pressure system? Where exactly do we think that dry slot will end up? In terms of snow, again, because I mentioned it, because we could see, again, at times some periods of snow with this system as temperatures, again, will be dropping pretty quickly on the back end of that low. And it looks like parts of northwestern Nebraska would be the areas that were most, again, not necessarily concerned, but have the potential to see maybe a couple inches of accumulating snowfall. And again, this should, not going to stick around for very long. Again, the ground is still very warm, and again, daytime highs will be above freezing. But again, we could see some areas of wet snow Wednesday night into Thursday, and then Thursday night into the day on Friday across western and southwestern Nebraska. So again, this is the European model. Again, has that snow mainly across the northwestern corner of the state into the Panhandle. And the GFS model, again, also has that snow across parts of western Nebraska into the Nebraska Panhandle. Does have some pockets of heavier snow, which is not out of the realm of possibility. So again, that is something we'll keep an eye on. Again, and not out of not out of the norm to have snow in mid-October in these areas. For Scotts Bluff, the average first snowfall is October 22nd, so we're not too far away from that in Scotts Bluff. For Valentine, up in Cherry County in north central Nebraska, that average first snow is late October, early November. So again, we're kind of within the realm of this all being possible. One other thing we're going to keep an eye on, looks like very strong winds are going to impact the region as we head through the day on Thursday and Friday. Again, this is a look at the possible future wind gusts. Again, as we start Thursday morning, already seeing those winds begin to pick up as that low pressure system begins to really slide through the area. By Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, particularly through western Nebraska on the back end of this system, we're going to be looking at winds gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour being possible out of the north and northwest. Again, drawing in that colder air, helping to see that changeover from rain to snow. Thursday night into Friday morning, again, you can see that wind is really whipping, gusting anywhere from 35, 45, maybe even up to around 50 miles an hour. As that low, again, continues to track to the north and east through the state. And then through Friday afternoon, those strong winds then kind of shift into central and eastern Nebraska, staying even a bit on the breezy side as we head Friday night, even into early on Saturday morning. So again, a lot of wind with this system as well. So again, a lot to kind of keep an eye on, keep track of with this system as we head over the coming days. In terms of temperatures, again, over the next few days, lows into Tuesday morning. We'll call it cool, chilly, maybe for some, anywhere from the mid-30s to the low 40s. Tuesday afternoon, again, a little bit warmer than what we have on Monday. Again, it should be a pretty pleasant day. Look for temperatures in the upper 60s to low to mid-70s, maybe a few into the upper 70s to near 80 across southwestern Nebraska and across the Nebraska Panhandle. As we head Tuesday night into Wednesday, again, that low drawing some warmer air into the southeastern corner of the state, so look for lows upper 40s, low 50s, kind of for south central, southeastern Nebraska, but still looking at upper 30s, low to mid 40s across the west into southwestern Nebraska. Wednesday afternoon highs, again, as warm air continues to be pulled north by that low pressure system, reaching the mid to upper 70s to low 80s across the southern half of the state. Still a little bit cooler on the other side of that warm front for northern Nebraska in the upper 60s to low 70s. Thursday morning lows, again, you can see where that pocket of warm air is, where that warm front sits as we head into Thursday morning, with lows in the mid-upper 50s, low 60s for south central, southeastern Nebraska, 40s elsewhere across northern, western, and far southwestern Nebraska. Then Thursday afternoon highs, again, this is where you can really start to see the change. We're looking at anywhere from the mid-40s across parts of the Panhandle to the mid-upper 70s across the southeastern corner of the state. Again, a map looking like this, not all that uncommon. In, again, the fall or spring, again, when we have these clash of air masses. Friday morning lows, that's when we really start to see some of the cooler air wrap into the system. Look for lows falling into the low to mid-30s in the west. We're looking at 40s to near 50 across the eastern half of the state. And then Friday afternoon highs will be chilly, and again, it will be windy and potentially wet through the day on Friday. We're looking at highs generally in the anywhere from the mid-40s to the mid-50s across the state. So again, a lot to keep track of here as we head over the coming days. Again, look for some really nice weather again through the remainder of our Monday, into the day on Tuesday, and even into most of the day, I think, on Wednesday. Although we do start to see that chance for some scattered thunderstorms, isolated severe storms into the day on Wednesday as well. But again, a lot to keep track of over the coming days. So again, as always, keep it tuned to 1011 both on air and online for all of the latest forecast details.